Ladies and gentlemen, today we've got someone who speaks with his eyes, like that bloke that Donna was there, but he doesn't obviously communicate with a computer, he communicates with people. He is a very experienced Toastmaster, and I've got the pleasure to introduce Allan today, who is also, for the purpose of guest, our president, you might have met. And he's got his icebreaker again, for who knows which time. And this special icebreaker is special because Allan is telling us about his new direction. So with the speech title, A New Direction, let's welcome Allan Murray.
Did it happen to you? You were living life. Life could have been good. It could have been average. Or perhaps it wasn't good at all. And then something happened. It could have been an event, a situation, a person, an accident. And your life, there is a new direction came from that. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. That happened to me also. I'd spent about 5 years in my chosen profession of being a police officer in Victoria. Now 5 years isn't long, but it was long enough to find out what it is that some human beings will do to others. And then I became involved in network marketing. Unbelievable story how it happened, never knew a thing about it. And that started to change because I had a situation where I would come across people that I hadn't come across before. At all. You see, I was in a room where a chap came in and he explained how it is that a chicken hatches out of its shell. And he pointed out that the chicken has got to get through that shell. But all it's got is this soft little beak and its body. But it taps away as best it can and doesn't stop until there's a crack in the shell. And then it pecks and knocks at it until some of it has fallen away. And it continues to do that until there's enough space for the chicken to actually exit. But it can't. Because it's almost dead through exhaustion. At that point, that's when it stops and regroups and regains its strength until it can get out of the egg. Now the chap who told that story explained to us that as a child he had polio. He couldn't move his legs. And his father did something which most people regarded as cruel. Instead of taking things to his son or his son to things, he put him in the middle of the lounge room. And then around there he put various toys and perhaps a bowl with biscuits. You see, his approach was this. If my son wants something bad enough, he'll find a way to get it. And he did. He found that between the boards in the room there were little cracks. And he was able to use his fingernails to take hold and to draw himself across to what it was that he wanted. And he said, you know, a lot of people thought my dad was cruel. But he said, I'm married, I've got business in various parts of the world, I'm happy with my life. And when I turned up here today, I walked in this room. Because you see, if we would have helped the chicken and take that little bit out so it'd make it easier, it would die. Because it wouldn't have developed the strength to actually live life. I was in another room with another chap who had business everywhere, wealthy man. And he said, you know, some people tell me that I'm burning the candle at both ends. And he said, I don't know if I am or whether I'm not. He said, there's one thing for sure. I don't want to get to the end of my life and find I had this much candle that I didn't use. You see, both those things affected my thinking. And they affected what I did. And I sat across the table from another man one day and he looked at me and he said, oh, any day of the week, I'd rather see you with an insincere smile on your face than a sincere frown. And so would the rest of the world. That changed my thinking. That changed what I did. You see, it's things like those that started to have an impact on my life, that changed my direction. And then about a month ago, I was reading a book, and there was a paragraph. And as I was reading it, it was as if all the words just faded back to light grey. And all that was left was 9 words. They stood out. What they said was this: how do you tell an eagle not to fly? That made sense to me. You see, I'm no eagle. I'm 68 years of age. I'm married. I've got 5 children. I've got 3 grandchildren. I drive a bus, and I do it 6 days a week on average. But there's nobody on this earth who can tell me and change me from what I think and from what I believe and from how I act in my life and what it is that I do, because I'm very clear about where I'm going and what I'm doing. Because a long time ago I heard a man say, you can predict where you'll be 10 years from now based on 2 things mainly: the books that you read and the people that you associate with. You see, that's why I'm in this room with you. And people just like you. Because I want to make sure that when I get 10 years further on, I'll have done it with the right people, who've got the right approach, who see the past as being there. Today's your best chance because that's the start of all your tomorrows. And that is what happened. That day that I did something that I'd never done before. And my life took a little change, a little new direction. And it's led me all that time to right now, today, where I know where I'm going. I'm happy to be going there. And I'm glad to be going there with people just like you. Madam Toastmaster.
Wow, thanks Alan, that was